Almost a year ago now, I started a new Minecraft adventure in this forest and I turned it into this. This is our 2,000-day complete world tour of our Minecraft kingdom, Blossom Valley. Getting straight into it, let's start the tour with our very small, very humble starter house. We have a 30-episode series of this world, and this is our build from episode 1. We added this house and we added a couple of crops either side for a food source. The inside includes minimal storage, a bed, and some furnaces. And a relic of the series, this is our very first pickaxe. I totally should have named this, but too late now. And then if we come out of here, the piece of land we're on is actually an island. It's a cute little island in a dark oak forest surrounded by rivers, and that is mostly what inspired me to build in this area. I decided to call this my starter island, and my goal was to fill it with all the things I would need for early game. So if we go off to the left here, we have our humble little mine's entrance in this hut, and we just have a basic strip mine going down. Then out here, if we keep going, we have our fishing hut. And by the sound of things, there's a villager that lives in here now. Hello? Yes, we have a fisherman who's moved in. I decided to end this world by adding a lot of villagers to make it a little bit more lively. But let's come back around here, and this is our crop section. There's a bunny. Come here. I have a carrot for you. Oh, and you. Okay, I guess we're breeding them. These crop fields are a Zapixel design, and they're semi-automatic. So if I press a button, this happens. But we still have to manually replant. So that is the crops, and if we come around this section, we have our storage room, which we made a couple of episodes in. It's kind of a big open barn that you can walk right through. As good as this was for a starter storage though, we did end up outgrowing this after a few weeks. So there's nothing in here. I ended up moving it all over to a bigger storage area. And then over here we have the last part of the starter island. This is a big mushroom, and it is my enchanting setup. We've got a lot of open rooms here, but because this is an island, it's very easy to light up, so no creeper scares. Next to the big mushroom, we have our mending shop with this guy who sells mending. We also have a little decorative pumpkin patch, but that's pretty much everything on the starter island. So let's head back through here and go over the bridge. This is kind of the next area I worked on. It's got our villager town, our nether portal, and our animals. Okay, so walking along the riverside, this loops around on the left to Mushroom Road, which is where most of our villagers live in mushroom houses, but to the right we have a couple of buildings to check out first. This thing has a big bone on the top and a couple of skeleton heads because it is a skeleton farm. We've got just this little area here and then lifts going up and down. And we land in this little room, which clearly I've been in recently. It's got kind of a deep slate cavey feel going on, and we have another entrance to the mines and a window to see the spawner here. But let us head back up. And the only other build in this direction is actually from my final episode, so it's the most recent build. This is our amethyst lighthouse at the very edge of Blossom Valley. I feel like none of my interiors are very exciting, but I'll show you anyway. You have a meeting room down here and a bedroom up here. But going back to where we came from, we have the namesake for this place, the Blossom Valley Blossom Tree. And under this big tree, there's actually a book of lore describing how the characters got here. Or the villagers rather. It's the history of Blossom Valley. The story goes that a long time ago, a group of lost and weary villagers were travelling in an attempt to find a home to settle in. Winding their way down the river, they intended to bypass the dark oak forest. It's not a suitable location. The darkness brings too much danger. That's why you won't usually find a village in this biome. However, something caught their eye in the distance, a tree like they had never seen before, a huge pink cherry blossom. It was beautiful, almost magical. Or perhaps that was silly to think. They were tired after all. In any case, the villagers went to investigate and found that the sun was setting, so they had no choice but to set up camp under the giant tree for the night. As the villagers fell asleep against the tree, they dreamt of shelter and safety. And the tree provided, or something did anyway. Giant mushrooms arose from the ground overnight. big enough for them to live in. Guards of iron spawned, providing protection from the monsters in the shadows. And so the villagers found their home and named it after the mysterious tree that seemed to grant them their dreams, Blossom Valley. I don't normally do lore for worlds, but I did find that fun. It kind of enriches the world. Anyway, this is our cows and our sheep. And then we have this tiny automatic sheep farm, and I did an expansion up here. And then coming back down here, we reach all the mushroom houses that the history book was talking about. So this is called Mushroom Road, and it's where most of my librarians live. Although there's a few in other mushroom houses way over there. Every single one is labelled, so this is Depth Strider, and they all have different interiors. I decided to make this guy into a baker, so he's got a little kitchen and some baking goods. I won't go in every single house, but you get the idea. When the path splits off here though, we can either go back to where we came or down here towards the castle. And the first building we encounter on the way is our lava farm. This building design is meant to be like a little workhouse or something. So we've got the lava in here, which we've been using as a source of fuel, and then up here there's another upstairs room. I can't even remember what's up here. I think it was meant to be just like, yeah, it's like a little break room. But if we come back out and around, it leads to our castle, or rather our Allay's castle. I do not live here myself. I built this for my 2 Allays, which I found in the very first episode. So both of them should be somewhere inside. We enter and we're in this kind of, oh, hello. This is Luna, and we are currently in a kind of meeting and dining room. But we also have a library on the left over here. And on the right side, we have a throne room for them. Then if we head upstairs, there's kind of this like plant room area. I think we might have all the different flowers and plants, maybe. I might be missing the dead bush, and this just leads outside. But if we go back in, the final room in here is the bedroom. We have a trapdoor on this so that the Allays can't get out because it has this open balcony. But that is the castle, so let's head back down to the river. This next building that we come to is where I keep my farmer villagers, and I also kind of use it as a villager breeder. It's kind of a mess in here though. Oh, and it's definitely missing some carpet. And then next to this, we have our sugarcane farm, which should be pretty full. Oh, it's actually completely full. Okay. And then coming out here, oh, also I have these swan boats. They're one of my favorite parts. There's one there and one kind of on the other side of the starter island. But continuing around the river, the next thing we come to is our viewer village. This village is a cluster of houses that are made for random viewers and YouTube members. So every house in it has a mailbox with a viewer's name on it and a little interior, as though they live in my world. They're also customized to include people's favorite colors and flowers, so this one was purple, and I'm pretty sure the flower must have been Lily of the Valley. But we also have this little pink themed house and this green one. And then if we come around here further, we have this red house. A couple of them also have pets, so Shivy's house has an axolotl somewhere. Somewhere in this moat. Oh, there he is. Dandelion. Then we can keep going past Melly's house, and I think this is Linda's. And I believe this house, the colour she liked was white, so I added a white sheep and named her Daisy. And we've got a little kind of white themed interior with a balcony. Then we loop back around to Sky's house and back to the river. Now we've just about arrived at my house, but first we have this build which I made to display the dragon egg. It is a gazebo in true Blossom Valley colours of purple and red. We have a little plaque that says the next generation, and it's the month that we killed the dragon. So last September. And then coming back down here, our next build is our house. So this is our mansion, and we have this little path on the water that goes between it and our starter island. But the first part of it is actually the section underneath, which is an automatic melon and pumpkin farm. So we have pumpkins over on this side and melons over here. But then coming up the stairs, our mansion is guarded from creepers by our cats. There's Professor Fluficus, Madame Fishcake, and over here is Lady Sakura. And the main thing I use this for is storage and also for sleeping. When we come in, we have a kitchen on this side, which honestly doesn't really get used for much. and then under the stairs is all of our furnaces, and next to that is all of our storage. It's mostly chests sorted into labelled categories, and we have a little section here for some shulker boxes. Then we go upstairs and we have a lounge on this side. In the middle there is a balcony, and on this side there is my bedroom. And that is our house. The main things left actually in Blossom Valley are to the right of our house and the zoo. And then we have a couple of builds that are elsewhere, but for now let's go over here. Over here we have another little villager area with a few houses just like the ones at Mushroom Road. Except these ones are not all librarians, so this guy is a stonemason. And I decorated his house as though he likes the Nether. Then next to him we have a loyalty villager. And this guy has a little aquarium in his house. Then coming back out here we have our beacon over here. And then turning up this way we have some more villager houses, but also this is our bee farm. From memory, I don't think it's very cute on the inside, but it does its job. Lots of bees. And lots of honeycomb. It's not a big farm, but we also don't need much honeycomb, so it's definitely done the job. Coming over this way, of course, after making the bee farm, we had to make a villager house out of honeycomb. And he is a armorer. Then next to him, we have, what is this? I think this is another stonemason. Yes, it is. And for that reason, we decorated his house with a bunch of stone. Then we come up the path further and we get to our nether house. The purpose of this is really just to be our nether portal, but we have decorated the inside. So we have a lot of gold armor in the middle, and then this side is decorated like a garden from the warped biome, and the other side is like a garden from the crimson biome. And we also have an upstairs. Oh, I think it's just started raining. The color's getting dull. Okay, yes, it is raining, but that's perfect because we're about to go into the nether. But we do have this lovely view over Blossom Valley, and then we have a netherwort farm in the middle. Oh, it's a thunderstorm. Okay, actually we're going to bed. Okay, that is much better, and as you just saw, we have a crimson themed bedroom over here, and then the other side has a warped themed bedroom. That's kind of a tongue twister. But let's head down and go through the portal and have a look at our little house in the nether. So right through here, it'll take us to our little nether waste house. And here we are. It's very tiny, but there is a little upstairs. There's actually 3 levels. So we have some storage here and more storage in the roof. But most importantly, it keeps us safe when we first come into the nether. We also have our handy dandy carpets to help us navigate. So this direction, the magenta carpet takes us to spawn, and the teal carpet takes us to the Stronghold. Oh, also this is our nether house. Let's have a little look from the sky. Does it count as sky? I don't know if it's called sky in the nether, but this is our house. And while we're here, there's one thing away from Blossom Valley to show you, which is our stronghold that we transformed. So we follow this path over here and go through this portal. And here we are in our portal room. This was one of my favorite projects to make, and I love how it turned out. We have 4 paths all leading to the center here, and then in between there's these layers of glass with, I think it's black terracotta that I used at the bottom to kind of look like a void, like in the end. And then we took all the bookshelves from the Stronghold libraries and made this into like a palace library. We also have an ender chest here in case we need it, and this leads back up to the overworld. Oh, and of course we have the dragon head. And I'm not going to go into the end because we haven't actually done anything exciting there, so let's head back to the kingdom. Back in our kingdom, the next area we have is kind of next to the bees and the beacon, and that is our zoo. The main point of access is here from our starter island, and we have a cute little bridge to go over. It also has a cute view from here with the swan boat. But as we cross the bridge, we see our big zoo sign, and on our left we have a map of the zoo and all of our kingdom. So we are here, and everything with the brown pathing is part of the zoo. Then opposite the map we have a little cafe and ticket office for the zoo, so the cafe has an outdoor and indoor section and a little window into the kitchen. Then if we come around here upstairs, we will be at the ticket office. So we have a counter with some zoo tickets. But coming out again, when we enter the actual zoo, we find ourselves in a kind of jungle themed area. So we have pandas on one side and ocelots on the other. And all of these animals here are actually named after viewers. We had a little guessing game, and the people who guessed that we were going to make a zoo had an animal named after them. But moving forward, we have a little fork in the path with the aquarium over here and frogs in this house. And we have every single type of frog, which was a bit of a mission trying to get the green one. But this is basically like a greenhouse, and it's decorated like a mangrove swamp, and we can come out the other side. I'll go through some sections a little faster, but over here we have rabbits, wolves, and a petting zoo. And next we'll make our way back to the walk-through aquarium. So this is where we keep our axolotls, and it's also decorated with coral. They're so cute. We have a couple of every colour. My shader settings make them a bit harder to see, but I think at the time we had the water more transparent. Anyway, if we come up here, this is our other way in. It's a big cheesy axolotl head. And then opposite we have a little pool of tropical fish. And around here is our goats. They needed something enclosed because they can jump really high. But we have, where are they? Oh, there's two over there. And the other one must be at the back somewhere. They're very cute though. I love the goats. In front of the goats here we have 3 enclosures: turtles, rainbow sheep, and mushrooms. And then the last enclosure, we don't have every animal, but we have most of them, and the last one is parrots. Which for these guys we have a walk-in room, and they're all different colours and on different perches throughout the room. There's also some seeds for visitors of the zoo to feed them. Wait, can I not? Oh, I didn't know you can't feed tamed parrots. Well, the more you know. And that is not only the whole zoo, but basically the whole tour done, I think. We do have a creeper farm somewhere over here, but we don't really need to look at it because it's really ugly. Ah yes, there it is. But that is Blossom Valley. We've worked on it for a whole year. It's been 2,000 days and we have a 30 episode series of it. So if you haven't seen that, check out my channel, and also if you want the seed or any other info, check out the description. So that is it for this world, but it's definitely not the last big pretty Minecraft world that we're gonna make. But until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!